Hi, Accountability Partners. David Halter of Mastery Consulting, and I'm going to talk to you about a very, very personal topic here: money. Oh boy. Okay, there's only one way that anyone has ever gone out of business before. And you may not be aware of this, but the answer is a lack of cash. It's the only reason any business owner has ever gone out of business. Lack of cash, but there's more to this answer than that. It's lack of cash or lack of access to cash. We forget the power or the need to have access to capital also at times. And by the way, it doesn't matter if you're a large scale business owner or sales professional, the same is true for you. One of the problems I see with people that I work with is whether they have cash or not, they don't have a whole lot of access to cash. So I'm going to teach you an unusual principle that a lot of people do not agree with me on. In fact, there are a lot of people in business or who are even far wealthier than I that still don't agree with me on this one. But here goes. You're asking me for my own opinion. Here's my belief for you, and you pick and choose whether you think this is right for you. Are you ready? I believe that the right strategy to protect against the future, whether it's downturn, etc., is always to have a tremendous amount of cash and access to cash, which means you need to be building your cash incrementally at all times. When the going is good, stockpile cash. And a lot of people disagree with that one. They think you ought to be constantly reinvesting. I believe you should be building cash. Cash is security, cash is peace. And by the way, cash is flexibility, most importantly. Cash is choices. So you add cash, but when you add cash, you also have an ability to go out and get more credit, if that makes any sense. So I'm actually, strangely enough, a believer in having very high credit card limits. I didn't mean you're going to use it. I just like having it. And by the way, even beyond that, what a lot of my friends, particularly in the real estate community, are going to be strongly opposed to when I say this is I even agree with going out and getting lines of credit, whether it's unsecured lines of credit from the bank, HELOCs on homes. Oh boy, do I have a lot of people disagree with me on this one. But I like those too. Why? Because they're low rates of interest for very long terms. I mean, for Pete's sakes, 200K on a HELOC is like a $900 a month payment. I'm not saying to use it. I'm saying to have it. There's a private company that I've been working with for many years as a coaching client, and they have now stockpiled 300,000 or so cash in the bank. And they asked me a great question on a recent conference call, which was, Dave, how much more should we stockpile away? Because it's only a couple of payrolls for them. And I said, you know what? I don't really care what the number is. I just care that you have a number. I care that you're intentional about a cash strategy. So I don't care what number it is. If you say you want to get to 400 next, we will, as long as we measure it as a metric and continuously discuss it, you will eventually get there as a company and your cash situation has improved. But I said to them, I asked them, what lines of credits do you have? And they had none. They had no access to bank capital. They had nothing. And I said, we need to do that now because here's the principle. Ready, kids? This is important. When you need it, you ain't getting it. And when you don't need it, you're getting it all over the place. So incrementally add cash. If you have to, also secondarily, incrementally pay down debt so you can get more extension in credit limits, if that makes any sense. Because here's the idea. The idea is that regardless of a downturn, regardless of what happens outside of your own efforts and your own business, I like this company says they only have cash enough for a couple of payroll periods, but I would like everyone I know to have years and years worth of both cash or access to cash. If you enjoy what you're doing, if you have purpose in your vocation and in your business, as I believe I do, you know that for my passion, I love what I'm doing here, and as I believe many of you do, of course, right? Then protect yourself. And I hope this principle of sort of financial management is something valuable for you. Have a great week and look forward to speaking to you all soon.